Well, if you take a good look at me, you probably suspect at the very least that I enjoy food. And I do. I enjoy the taste, I enjoy the texture, I enjoy the nutrition, and I enjoy what it does for my health. I do try to eat fairly, you know, a fairly healthy diet, watching out for things like my diabetes and my high blood pressure. But I'm not going to just forego anything that I might enjoy because it might have its issues. A nutritionist that first taught me how to take care of my diabetes nutritionally told me that an occasional splurge with something sweet or something salty or something, otherwise maybe not so good for me is just fine. And I don't have to go to a bunch of special recipes and do a lot of special cooking. I just have to be careful about things like carbs. That said, food can add a lot of joy to your life. I don't mean, to try to be like the person that eats steak 3 times a day. I love steak, but sooner or later I'd get sick of it. I love meatloaf, but I wouldn't want meatloaf even once a day, much less 3 times. Let's not get stupid about it. But where food can really add joy to life isn't with the doing the same thing over and over, or falling back on favorite foods all the time. It's in trying new things. As you know, I watch quite a few reactor videos, things like that on YouTube, and some of the ones I love are people from other countries getting introduced to American foods for the first time. Now, that can be some of our better known restaurant chains, In-N-Out Burger, Cracker Barrel, whatever. Or it can be the stuff we cook at home. Mac and cheese, biscuits and gravy, meatloaf, since I mentioned that anyway. Because most countries don't have this. These are American foods, and it's kind of a surprise for them, and usually a pleasant one. When they try these American foods for the first time, well, that can work 2 ways, I'm a Navy veteran, 9 years worth. 2 deployments to the Western Pacific. And I am a richer man for having made those deployments, not because I made money on those deployments or learned something about this or that on those deployments or whatever. And not just because I survived them either, because I had my chances to not. But I'm a richer man because I visited Korea and ate honest to goodness, real life kimchi. I visited the Philippines, ate honest to goodness, real life lumpia. I visited Japan ate some of their native dishes. Thailand, ate some of their native dishes, which will clear your conscience and your sinuses, I'll tell you. You talk about spicy food, Tex-Mex or Mexican, boy, try some Thai. You get real Thai, oh yes. They love their hot peppers. And so do I. So me and Thailand got along pretty well. But I'm a richer man for having tried these foods from these other countries. And I may have found some things along the line that I either couldn't talk myself into trying, like for instance, balut, which is basically it's a Filipino delicacy, they consider it. But it's basically an egg that's been buried until it's rotten. Then they eat it. No thanks. But I couldn't bring myself to try that one. But, there are things that I couldn't do, and there were things that I could do. And I'm better off for the things I could do. Oh, I may have run into some things that I could try and did try and wasn't that crazy about. I can tell you that a water buffalo steak I had in the Philippines was not as good as a beef steak from down in Texas or even right here in Kansas. But I tried it and it was good, it just wasn't as good. So, but don't be afraid to try a few new things. Now raw fish, okay, otherwise known as sushi. I haven't quite talked myself into that one yet. However, I may have without knowing it, because I do like my fish, and there may be times when I cooked it but didn't cook it enough. It may be almost sushi. I'm not sure, but be that as it may. But don't be afraid to try a few new things. Food, beverages. It can be wonderful. And some of them aren't that hard to find either. I drive a few little ways over to Dodge City. I bet you I can find somebody selling churros. And those are good. Being diabetic, I'm not really supposed to have them, but now and then as a splurge, I'll have one. But don't be afraid to try things. Oh, if you just can't, you just can't. But, whatever you can, try it. You'll be richer for it.